Here I am with a lovely refreshing coffee in the morning. And I pulled myself up to my desk, powered on my monitors, and I have to say the most satisfying thing you can really see in the morning is your passion getting the credit it deserves. I am of course talking not about the YouTube channel, but then the Player's Choice Awards from the official PlayStation US blog. This article shot up last night with the summary of what the voting public decided was the best new game of July 2019. It will no doubt surprise you then that even though there are quite a lot of heavy-duty releases in July, Shadowbringers, of all things, managed to claim the #1 spot. I mean, that's pretty incredible, don't you think? I remember not long ago that people were shouting that the MMORPG genre was a fad, and that the popularity of those games has died, and that an MMO could never stack up against other games as it relies on other players, blah blah, all of the other crap that you hear people spout, mostly just for views. But here we are looking at a blog entry on the official PlayStation website. Colour me impressed, but I'm not really like 10,000% surprised. We may have had an influx of ported MMORPGs from Asia a couple of years ago, but none of them made as much of an impact on the scene than Final Fantasy XIV. The recent news on game websites and magazines that I've read or looked at all seem to mention Shadowbringers in some capacity as a must-have, a must-play, and so many new people are doing new player guides on YouTube and various websites. It's absolutely fantastic. It got to the point where casually the term WoW refugee came into existence. Can you make a guide for Final Fantasy XIV for a WoW refugee? And so on were posted on Reddit, social media, and obviously all across YouTube. What really blows my mind then is that all it really took to get to this point is dedication and clarity. Final Fantasy XIV does a lot of great things really well, and I still think quite a lot of that could be improved upon. It's not a perfect game, especially with things like housing, but there are so many different elements that are well presented at least, and they're varied enough that there's enough here to make people who do become disillusioned with games like World of Warcraft and changes to their other favourite games that they can both come to 14 for the wide array of content, but also for the familiarity, tab target, WASD movement, stuff they already know, and then from there it's pretty much just dodging AoEs and learning the new GCD cooldown timer. But the real reason Shadowbringers shines as an expansion, at least thus far for me, is the storyline and the engagement with you, the player, in it. The MSQ was well written, filled to the brim with main plotline details for once, and self-explanatory enough that I believe there was enough to make even those newcomers who did purchase a level and a story skip to actually enjoy, and maybe then to go back and sort of read up of what exactly they've missed. There are so many things you could actually list in a video as to the catalyst for 14's success with Shadowbringers, but the one thing that I say that is a definitive is the game's clarity. You know exactly what game you're getting into. It's familiar enough to fit like a glove MMORPG wise, but at the same time has a roller coaster of twists and turns through this beautiful storyline that engages you in gameplay, especially at the endgame with the extensive raiding and extreme trials that will really put anybody to the test. To see Shadowbringers on the top of lists, this one and now several others, where it's even been touted Game of the Year so far as well by certain places, blows my mind as a fan of the series, and I can only really imagine how Yoshi P and his team actually feel right now. Their goal originally was to make an MMORPG a well-loved and worthy numbered entry into the franchise, and I think despite the wondrous awards that 2.0 gained, in Heavensward in particular, and even Stormblood to a lesser degree, has only really now been at a point where you could fully see it as an outsider. Second on this Player's Choice poll was actually Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is another wonderful addition and another win for Square Enix then, and there are so many other great titles coming from Square Enix of late, either published or made in-house, that just make you proud to be included in their greater community. There's something very right going on with Square Enix at the minute, and it's really nice to see. It's an incredibly well-achieved set of accolades, and Square Enix's many involved staff members should be sincerely proud of what they're accomplishing over there. It's fantastic. Here's to next year, and a bigger budget for the games that we love. Especially Final Fantasy XIV. Let's get extended housing, Yoshi P, because I'm not the only one that wants, like, sharding or something, or just more wards, like hundreds more wards. That'd be great, thank you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time. I'm running out of coffee now.